of people ask me, they want to know it so bad. They want to know it so bad. They want to know, how does America sound in Chinese?
Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very, very good.
Some of Hermès products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
It was my first time shopping at Hermès, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Made in Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to made in English.
Y'all, Hermès is officially in panic mode. The luxury giant is now suing the very same Chinese manufacturers who just exposed their billion-dollar secret, and it's sending shockwaves through the entire fashion world. These factories aren't just making knockoffs, they were the ones actually building the bags. The same Birkins and Kelly's Hermès selling for $20,000, and now they're telling the world what really goes down behind these made in France labels. Let's just say it's not what you think. From shady production tricks to insider receipts and viral TikToks, this scandal is blowing the lid off the luxury illusion, and Hermès is scrambling to stop the bleeding. But the truth, it's out now and the damage already done. So let's get into it, y'all. Now let's get started with the lie that started it all. For years, Hermès has pushed the image of handcrafted bags by French artisans and Parisian workshops. You picture someone in a white coat stitching leather by candlelight with some smooth jazz playing in the background, right? Wrong.
She put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
According to insiders and receipts from Tanner Leatherstein, up to 80% of these so-called French luxury bags are made in China. Not just assembled, manufactured. We're talking the leather work, the stitching, the threading, the cutting, all done overseas. Then Hermès takes the product, adds a button or stamp in France, and suddenly it's made in France. That's the trick. So when Chinese factories started telling the truth and showing receipts, Hermès lost it.
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France.
Enter Tanner Leatherstein, the whistleblower of luxury. He's not some random dude on TikTok. He's a leather expert with a cult following, known for buying designer bags and literally cutting them open on camera to show what's inside. He was the first to expose Chanel for ditching real gold hardware and using cheap plastic-coated leather. He went after Louis Vuitton, Bottega Veneta, and of course Hermès. And Tanner showed that the leather quality in these bags is no better than what you find in a $100 dupe. He also exposed that the cost to actually make a Birkin bag is around $600, not $14,000, not $38,000, $600. And that includes good leather and metal hardware.
I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
So now imagine Hermès watching this all unfold, seeing videos go viral and realizing that the truth is out and the gig is up. Because Chinese manufacturers weren't just making dupes, they were making the real thing for Hermès and then blowing the whistle. They revealed 80% of the work is done in China. Only final details are added in France. And Hermès profits off the image of French luxury while hiding the real labor.
They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that.
So what does Hermès do? Do they own up to it? Apologize? Of course not. They get to filing them lawsuits. Hermès is suing several Chinese factories for misuse of intellectual property and defamation, basically saying, how dare you tell people our bags don't actually come from France? But here's the kicker. These same Chinese manufacturers were under contract by luxury brands. They were legally producing bags, but now that they've spoken out, Hermès is acting like they don't know them, like they just woke up and realized these factories existed. But let's do the math. Hermès made $15.2 billion in revenue in 2024. That means millions of bags were sold, and if it takes 2 days to make a single Birkin, where is this mystery team of French workers making them all by hand? The numbers are not adding up. It's giving fraudulent, and Hermès isn't alone. Other brands like Prada, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are doing the same thing. They'll make 98% of the product in China, then have a zipper or button made in Italy, just so they can legally slap a Made in Italy tag on the item. It's a marketing game, a con, and consumers have been falling for it because of the prestige attached to European labels.
Who is the Chinese supplier behind product? Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
And as more and more people learn the truth, resale prices are starting to dip. People are realizing that they paid $25,000 for a bag made in the same factory as a $400 dupe. Now, tanners expose these bags that claim to be full of calfskin but turn out to be cheap PU-coated leather. It's making collectors nervous and buyers mad, because if Hermès isn't really about quality or craftsmanship, then what exactly did they pay for? The brand illusion, y'all. The big lie Western luxury brands have sold us is that China equals low quality, but that's outdated. Chinese factories today produce world-class leather goods. They have materials, the skills, and the machines. In fact, many luxury brands manufacture their products in the same factories as mid-range brands and knockoffs. They just put different tags on the end product, that's all. So when someone tells you a bag is made in China, it doesn't mean it's trash, it just might be better than whatever was made in France. But there are countless stories of people getting factory extras without logos that are literally exact products as the $1,000 bags. One creator said she had Ugg boots from the same factory as the real ones, just no label, and they was $5. The only difference? Branding.
He started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the Ugg boot that most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth, because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing Ugg boots, and they were always the cool surfer kids.
Western media has conditioned people to think China equals bad and Europe equals high class. But when you dig into it, it's all marketing. These brands are private equity-owned machines pumping out overpriced goods to people who just don't know better. And now that consumers are waking up, the industry is panicking. Tanner Leatherstein doesn't work for any brand. He's not selling you anything fancy, he's showing his work, explaining materials and breaking it all down. He literally cut open his own $1,800 wallet collection to show you what you're actually paying for. And what he found? Disappointment every single time.
Most of those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But it feels truly exceptional.
But let's be real a second. For a millisecond, these designer brands wouldn't be where they are without celebrities flaunting them like trophies. You'd think that they were buying Birkins and Chanel for fun? No, most of them are either gifted or paid to wear these bags. It's called strategic placement. The brand gives Cardi B a $60,000 bag and she posted on IG, and suddenly every influencer and wannabe fashionista is trying to get their hands on one. You think you're buying luxury, but what you're really buying is a celebrity approval.
Nothing is as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her, because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my purse.
Oh, let's not forget that time that Kylie Jenner posted an Hermès closet tour. People lost their ever-loving minds, but how many of those were even bought with their own coin? And even if they were they even made in France or a backroom in Shenzhen?
This is pretty much where I keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house is on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
And it's not just celebs anymore, y'all. Even influencers are doing the dirty work too. TikTok and Instagram are full of unboxing videos showing luxury hauls, most of which are either PR drops or brand partnerships. These creators are making racks promoting bags they didn't pay for, pushing a narrative that you need a designer bag to be somebody.
Unbox my latest Hermès bag with me.
This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
Meanwhile, the brands are laughing all the way to the bank, selling $600 bags for $26,000 because you saw it on your FYP. But let's talk about this whole Birkin trap. Somewhere along the way, owning a Birkin became the ultimate status symbol. But here's the kicker. Hermès doesn't even just let anybody buy one. You can't just walk in and grab it off the shelf. You gotta build a purchase history, aka spend thousands on scarves and belts before they even offer you the privilege of maybe getting one. And that's not luxury, that's luxury cult. And people are lining up to join.
You know, you walk into Hermes and say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy one per year.
But let's not forget the resale market. A few years ago, people were flipping Birkin bags like real estate. But now after Tanner's expose and the factory leaks, prices are dipping and dipping fast. If the exclusivity is fake, the craftsmanship is questionable, and the bags are made in the same factories as dupes, why would anybody still pay full price? People are scared, resellers are sweating, and investors, they're realizing that these luxury bags might not be the gold mine that they once were.
I've been speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etaine, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etaine is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's SUES stamp, which means it's a 2021 piece.
Now here's something else real wild. Many celebs and influencers actually rock dupes, but still tag the real brands. Why? Well, to stay in the trend game without burning a hole in their pocket. Some insiders even claim stylists will buy fakes, tag brands for clout, and get invited to Fashion Week because of the illusion. Yes, y'all, the system rewards the illusion, not the authenticity.
Kendall Jenner is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag is fake.
So when you see your favorite celeb with a luxury brand, don't assume it's real or that they care if it is. The branding is what sells, not the bag.
None of this jewelry on my arm is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a... This shit was $23 on Amazon.
So who's really winning here? The brands, they're still cashing out. The celebs, they're still collecting checks. The influencers, they still getting PR boxes and event invites. You know who's not winning? You, the customer. You're the one dropping a month's rent on a label sewn in on in China, based on hype built by celebs who didn't even pay for it. So ask yourself, are you buying quality or just the illusion? But here's where things take an even wilder turn, y'all. Hermès isn't just panicking behind closed doors anymore. They're going full legal warfare on them. Yes, the brand is now allegedly suing a wave of Chinese manufacturers who exposed them. And they aren't just one-off lawsuits either. Reports say Hermès is targeting multiple factories that dare to speak out, trying to slap them with claims like defamation and misuse of intellectual property. But let's be real, what they're really mad about is about getting caught. And this couldn't have come at a worse time for them, because ever since the US cracked down with those aggressive tariffs against Chinese imports, global brands have been forced to show their hand. And guess what? Hermès is one of the brands that might get hit the hardest, because when most of your so-called French craftsmanship is coming from Shenzhen factories, you got a big problem. This whole expose blew the lid off a much bigger issue. Luxury brands aren't just about quality anymore. They're about perception and illusion, and when that illusion starts to crack, the empire starts to crumble. And Hermès isn't just trying to save face, they're fighting for survival. If the truth about where these bags are really made keeps spreading, people will start questioning everything, not just Hermès, but Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, all of them. And that terrifying moment where made in France loses its sparkle, that's when luxury loses all its meaning. So now Hermès is scrambling. They're pointing fingers, filing lawsuits, hoping to silence the factories that exposed them. But it might just be too late, because a genie's out the bottle, baby. And the internet never forgets. And now that you know the truth, are you still gonna pay that $20,000 for a bag made in the same building as your Amazon package? Or are you finna DH-gate it? Listen, hit that like button if you side-eyeing your favorite luxury brand right now. Subscribe for more fashion drama, and let us know in the comments, do you think that celebs should be held accountable for pushing overpriced products? And are luxury brands really worth the price tag anymore? Would you still buy an Hermès if it says made in China on the tag? The rabbit hole goes deep, and trust me, the next video just as deep and messy.